Hi, everybody. This is Ron, and welcome to this week's episode of Top Club. As you can see behind me, there's a picture of a ship going down fast. A lot of people splashing in the water. Does anybody remember what that ship was? Yeah, I'm sure you all do. The Titanic. And the reason I have it behind my head is that it has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today, but it's April 13th, and on April 14th is when the Titanic sank in the year 1912. And one of the most memorial disasters of all time. So I thought I'd talk about self-confidence with the Titanic sinking behind me, because I think that maybe the people who built it had a little bit too much self-confidence. The biggest ship, the unsinkable, and there it goes, down to the bottom of the ocean, but into history. Last week, you guys talked about how to overcome anger, a week about overcoming anger, and you sent me lots and lots of really good stuff. There was one I really, really appreciated, and it was, I got so angry once that I broke my crayon. Now, I sorry guys, I love my crayon. Who's there?
Here's the report. The boss wants it in 15 minutes.
The boss
The
wants.
boss wants that done in 15 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I can't do this in 15 minutes. I'm doing the show now. I can't do it. I'm just so angry. Oh no, I broke my crayon. My wonderful crayon. I broke my crayon. So whoever wrote about breaking their crayon, well, I just broke mine too. I wondered, I should have taken the crayon and drawn a little sketch of a happy sunrise or something, but same with the report. It made me a little angry. So I guess, techniques for overcoming anger is something we have to work at. And I should put my crayon there in the Titanic and watch it go down into the icy waters of history. Well, guys, today we're going to talk about building self-confidence. Oh, wait a minute, before we get going, I just want to show you. And I got to open, well, I don't have to open it to show, maybe you can see it. But this is really awesome. This is a fan, a bendable fan that works off of your USB port. You plug it into your computer and the fan never stops, and it's really strong. It says Top Club is too cool. I'm going to make sure that you guys each get one of these before school's out. I got them in just a couple of days ago, and I just thought that'd be really cool. That way you could stay cool, like you already are cool, but you can stay cool all summer long in a different sort of way. Well, self-confidence. I found myself lacking self-confidence lately, and I guess it's something that we all feel all the time. And there are ways to help build up our self-confidence, and we want to talk about a couple of those today. And we'll get started. I'm going to go ahead and put a little show on for you here if I can find there it is, the right button. Okay. Ta-da. Okay, there we go. Self-confidence. And who else would have more self-confidence than the individual you see there on the screen? One of your well, at least the cartoon heroes of some of the younger kids or whatever. But And the thing is, I'm going to see now because I just did that a minute ago, and I'm trying to remember his name. What is it? Okay, it'll come back to me here in just a second. Self-confidence. And the main thing to remember about self-confidence is that nobody's perfect. Everybody wants everybody to be perfect. I mean, it's just the way it is. Everybody wants you to achieve everything that you're going to achieve, do all that you're going to achieve, hopefully driving you forward and forward to building ships like the Titanic. Okay, well, a bad choice. But when we are trying to be self-confident in what we can and what we can do, like it says here, there's a healthy balance between self-acceptance and self-improvement. You know, confidence that I can be what I can be. But sometimes there's some things I really maybe can't be, and to know when to, I don't want to say when to quit, but when to switch your energy away from one thing to another. Um, I want to be a scuba diver, but I'm afraid of water. Well, you can try to overcome your fear of water, but if it's a actual physical ailment that keeps you from overcoming a fear of water, then probably being a scuba diver is not something that you want to do, or a surfer, or an undersea explorer. I want to be an astronaut, but I'm afraid of heights. Or I want to be a world famous physicist, but I'm having trouble with, fractions. Um, but I'm a great artist. There are things that we strive to do, and it's good to try to do them. But it's also to know when to say quit to something, like the guy there in the tree sawing on the wrong end of the branch. Obviously, not cut out to be a lumberjack, but to say quit to something and move on to something else. Otherwise, you can actually damage your self-confidence if you tried something over and over and over and over and over again, and you never make up. That's why so many people go into certain kind of careers, or put into certain kind of careers, and they just don't work. I remember once my mother was talking to somebody about my brother, and said and I was younger, and she said when he goes to college, he's going to become an English major. Yeah, I thought that was so cool, because I thought my brother was going to go over to London and join the military and become an officer, but it meant being majoring in English in college. Well, he hated English, and he ended up being quite a good engineer. But it's the way things go. Another thing to know is you can control your efforts, but you can't always control the outcomes of things. Like his doggy there, I mean, really excellent at fetching and bringing stuff to his owner. But in this case, what he's bringing to his owner, the outcome of what's going to happen there is beyond the control of the doggy, because the doggy doesn't understand it. Go boom, and end of doggy and end of owner. But you know, we can really be good at something. We really strive for something. We can really do well at something. But in the world in which we live, the outcomes are not always predictable. And if the outcomes are not always predictable, it has nothing to do with your self-confidence and your ability to accomplish something. It means that certain factors beyond your control stepped in and changed things. So as you strive to develop and perfect yourself and move forward and feeling good about things you do, just remember that it's possible that unforeseen circumstances will may come in and actually, terminate those dreams and or switch you in another path. The latent and manifest functions. Remember that. What we set out to do is not always the way things turn out. but it's the journey. It's how you do to get there. That's the important part. Another action or part of self-confidence is being able to present yourself, to stand up for yourself. I believe in this, I believe in that, I'm going to do this, it's who I am. And it's a development of again, not being angry, not yelling at people, not that when they challenge you, but it's self-confidence is kind of like um, a intelligent, rational, logical way of presenting who you are and what you feel to those people around you. It would be an act of cultured confidence. I love that word, cultured confidence. I am who I am, and this is what I believe in, and nothing is going to change it. When you can actually develop a strategy for achieving that, you're working way in the realms of being very positive and self-confident in who you are. So achieving things, careers, and that is only one part of self-confidence. The other part of self-confidence is presenting yourself, identifying who you are, and the like. Now, the people who talk about self-confidence say that joining a club, learning how to play a musical instrument, or doing volunteer work, or any kind of new skills that come along, if you try to tackle new things, it makes you feel better about yourself when you succeed. Um, I can't promote video games too much, but there's some video games that present true challenges that master your ability to seek, search, find, and discover things. So, something like that. Again, playing a musical instrument is cool. I mean, clubs, well, it's kind of hard to join a club right now because of what's going on, in the world, unless it's a virtual club. Maybe oh man, I'm sounding nerdy now, a chess club. Now we can have chess clubs on the internet with other people. But anything like that to make yourself learn new skills, because confidence is built up by the more you learn and the more you achieve. Did you ever hear the saying, the Renaissance man? Well, back in 15th century Italy, at the time when the Renaissance, when they built all those cool buildings and made all those statues, and you had the warring people in Italy, and it was like the heyday for art and literature and all that kind of stuff. Well, a person who could master all the different skills, art, warfare, music, literature, whatever, politics, and that was called a Renaissance man or a Renaissance woman. So this is kind of what it's saying. The more that you do, the more skills you have, the more closer you get to feeling really, really secure and confident in who you are and what you can do. So, in other words, step out and try something new. And it also helps your self-confidence if you had a role model you can turn to for inspiration, guide your path through life. Some of us are fortunate that we have parents who are wonderful role models, who explain the wonderful, cool things that they did, how they overcome adversity, and we can learn lessons from them, or a grandmother, or a grandfather, or a aunt or an uncle. But if not, well, there are lots of other role models you can have, like one of my favorite role models right down there on the bottom, from a cartoon show that existed long before you guys, even set foot in school. Underdog. Underdog will save the day. Loved that show when I was a kid. So, Underdog was a blundering kind of fool, but he managed to complete every task that he set out to do. So that's kind of the way I was when I was a kid. I couldn't chew gum and walk at the same time, the old cliche, or walk into walls and try stuff. But I always tried to do things. I always tried to achieve things, make it better for myself, and it worked. And Underdog kind of helped me along the way. So any cartoon characters that you have, superheroes, whatever, but you can learn from positive role model learning towards developing self-confidence in your ability, making you, get to the point where you could actually love yourself. And that's really important because loving yourself is important. If you're not able to love yourself, then you're less likely to be able to love anything else. So role models, my friends, role models. And as you go through the role to achieve self-confidence, you got to watch out for like the superficial things. Friends saying, "Hey, you're the greatest. You're the best. You can do anything. You're the wonderful. Oh man, you rock." Like, well, you rock and you rule. That's pretty cool. But it happens at time. You get these artificial titles thrown at you, and just talk to Dr. Billy. He's the best guy at math in the whole world. And maybe you're Billy, but you're not the best math person in the whole world. But your confidence built upon false things. It's nice to have adoration from other people, but if you can't support it, it'll eventually wear you down. Because you don't want to live an untruth of believing in yourself that you're the best at this and the best at that when you're really not. So I mean, take the praise people give you, but keep it in perspective to what you can do and who you are, and you'll be able to overcome that quite nicely. And don't forget, life is full of mistakes, and if you're afraid to experiment with stuff and learn from mistakes, then you're never really going to grow that much. Like the young guy down here below who was asked if he wanted to go firewalking. Now, there's a trick to firewalking, but for about 99% of us, I think it would be a mistake. We'd end up in Three Rivers if we tried to do some firewalking. So as you go through life, you'll make choices as to what are good things to experience and what are not good things to experience, what's in your ability to do or not an ability to do, and making a whole bunch of really good, healthy choices. And you'll do just fine. and keep a positive attitude. Self-confidence is about being upbeat, even though sometimes you're being beaten up. How many times they say, "I'm going to fail because I'm stupid." I grew up saying that, and I wish I hadn't. It might have been true, but I wish I hadn't. I grew up because I failed because I was stupid with I'm going to pass that math class if I work hard. I'm going to be able to write that song for music class if I really practice hard at it. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. If what's within me to do. Remember, it may not turn out the way you think. It may not be the right thing for you, but to say that you're stupid or you're lazy or whatever, that's like giving up before you can try. And that's like the worst thing that can happen to your ability to achieve self-confidence. Who's this gentleman down there on the bottom? Anybody know? The famous E equals MC square. No, it's not Donald Trump. Ebenezer Scrooge. Kind of looks like Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, Albert Einstein. That's right. He's a great physicist. to the law of relativity. He never even went to college, but he had confidence in what he was doing, confidence in his skills, and he could present himself with that cultured confidence and make a name for himself and become one of the most famous people who ever lived. Confidence, folks, confidence. So there, building self-confidence has got a lot of steps to it. There's a lot of aspects to it. But be true to yourself. Work as hard as you can to achieve something. Work to achieve it for yourself and not for others. Because the meaning comes in what you get out of success as opposed to what other people get out of success through you. Hold yourself firm and keep on the track that you want to walk. Be prepared for bumps in the road, and you'll be a self-confident person and be able to overcome everything, except maybe how to put my crayon back together again. Oh, poor crayon. Okay, guys. Well, maybe you want to jot down something on how you feel you can be more self-confident and send that along to me next time. I'd love to read it. I'd love to read your stuff. And again, for the person who lost their crayon, I'm sorry. I lost mine too just now. And I've got this report to do. Oh, I can't do the report because I'm stupid. No, okay. I just had to get that one in there. Okay, gang. Well, I hope you have a wonderful week. Think about the Titanic tomorrow when you're taking your bath. Don't go down the tub with the ship. And we will see you next week. And you have a wonderful time. And again, we'll try to get those fans out to you pretty soon, I hope. All right. Adios. Bye.